You are looking at the oldest active monastery in the entire world, long before the fall of the Roman Empire, before electricity, technology, or even the modern world as we know it. These gates were closed, and they have never truly opened since. In a remote region of Egypt known as the Desert of the Dead, the same prayers have been chanted, and the same water has been drunk for over 1600 years. But what would drive a man to leave everything behind, wealth, family, and comfort, to wait for death in a cave in the middle of this vast, unforgiving emptiness? Today, we are uncovering one of history's greatest mysteries, the eternal legacy of Saint Anthony. It all began with a radical act of surrender. Born in 251 AD, Anthony was the son of an incredibly wealthy family, destined for a life of luxury, but one day, a single sentence he heard in church shattered his reality. If you want to be perfect, go, sell your possessions and give to the poor. Anthony did not hesitate. At just 20 years old, he walked away from his village by the Nile. But as his reputation for holiness grew, the world would not leave him alone. Seekers and disciples followed him everywhere. To find true solitude, he fled deeper into the wilderness, to the heart of the Red Sea Mountains, a place where only wild animals and the scorching heat dared to exist. Today, when you visit the monastery, the journey to the past is a physical challenge. You must climb exactly 1,150 steps to reach the tiny opening where Anthony lived. This is not a grand chamber. It is a narrow, claustrophobic crevice in the rock, suspended hundreds of meters above the desert floor. According to ancient accounts, Anthony lived here in total isolation for 20 years. But how did he survive the brutal desert nights and the starving days? Legend tells of a mystical connection with nature, that wild lions were his silent guardians, and a raven brought him half a loaf of bread every single day, just as it had for the prophets of old. Yet his real battle was not against the elements, it was within his own mind. In the deafening silence of the desert, he reportedly faced terrifying visions and whispers, what he called demons trying to lure him back to the world. This very cave is the crucible where the concept of monastic life was forged. But the monastery's greatest physical mystery lies beneath the scorching sands. In the middle of a wasteland, kilometers away from any known oasis or river, a miraculous spring flows directly through the heart of the stone complex. Nearly 1.5 liters of water emerge every second, a constant pulse of life in a land of death. For thousands of years, through droughts and climate shifts, its flow has never wavered. It has never run dry. To this day, scientists struggle to map the subterranean path of this water. For the monks, however, the math is simple. It is a divine blessing that allows them to maintain a lush garden of olives, dates, and grapes in a place where nothing should grow. As you walk through the fortress-like walls, you realize this is more than a house of prayer. It is a massive stone-bound library of human history. For centuries, the monastery was a target for Bedouin raids and invaders. To survive, the monks became masters of concealment. They built secret trapdoors and hidden rooms to protect their most precious treasures, thousands of ancient manuscripts and hand-painted icons. During a major restoration in the early 2000s, archaeologists were stunned to find breathtaking 13th century murals hidden behind layers of soot and plaster. These vibrant images of saints and angels had been watching the monks in silence for 700 years, forgotten by the outside world. In the past, the monastery had no doors at ground level for security. If you wanted to enter, you had to be hoisted up in a wooden basket by a massive pulley system. It was a clear message. What lay behind these walls was a sacred sanctuary that the world was not meant to touch. Today, the Monastery of Saint Anthony remains a living time capsule. While our world races toward an uncertain future, obsessed with noise and speed, the monks here continue a rhythm of life that has not changed since the 4th century. They wake before the sun, they work the soil of the desert, and they guard the silence. Perhaps they know something we have long forgotten, that the loudest truths are often found in the places where we are most alone. What is the most mysterious place you've ever heard of? Does the idea of such isolation terrify you or haunt you with its beauty? Let us know in the comments below. Until our next journey into the shadows of history, stay curious.